live at this way or
We
how
are
is that?
live. Yeah, that looks good. We're live, but you could just get ready while we listen to some music. This song is specially dedicated to the Returnees Project. In a competition with young people around the world, we were able to find a young artist write a song for our vision. So Z2 Nice is actually the musician, and we are so delighted to have our guest of today. We'll just listen to a bit of music and we will be with you in a few minutes. Now where you there when you will come back home? My sister, now where you there when you will come back home? Come back, come back, LTD, faut pas
Mira,
oublier. Yes, Auntie.
what happened to my network? Will I be able to connect because I have a backup?
Yes, yeah, you just reconnect again. Then we'll just tell the guests to hold on. We've had guests from Cameroon, and we always just do that. Dreaming big for tomorrow, we gotta walk and it glows. Be an inspiration to the younger generation. Return is calling you back home. We want melody la vie. Yeah, my brother, now where you there? When you will come back home? My sister, now where you there? When you will come back home? Those tuning in, you're welcome. We just listen to some music and then we get on. If you see on the slideshow, these are the guests we've had the past weeks, ladies and gentlemen, starting from the 29th of March. Thank you to my special team working behind the scenes to make this happen. Miranda Oben, you already know. Barista Agrobala, Christian Gang, Dr. Mui Steele, Dr. Ken Stephens, Divine Winter, Dr. TJ Fomambo, Alice Michelle, Eric S. Banav, Leah, Melanie Wabo, Lionel Dassi Jr., and Françoise Combe, Marie-Ange, and Patience Atonga, Mame Denta, and Asaba Juliet, the little Asheri, and Goretti, Gabrielle from Copenhagen, Are Bate, Durolan Kwemen, Dr. Bianda Pabdo, Tanika Durans, Pam Happy, Mokhtar, Batupe, Laura Sen, Array, Clara and Fanny, Cheryl, Noel and Javnoy, Myra Fombe, Christelle. We take another shot, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome back to you all. This is Miranda Oben. You already know it's been a huge, huge pleasure for me to welcome you here every evening. So it is actually 7 p.m. in Germany, 6 p.m. in Cameroon, and our guest of today is waiting behind the scenes. Of course, I had already told you I'll be having a co-host this week, and she is the young and brilliant Alice Michelle, who is currently based in Italy and has been working so hard behind the scenes to make all this possible, all this happen. We want to thank the guests who have been with us the past month, sharing their visions, sharing their work, their expertise to the younger generation. As you heard from the song by Z2 Nice and Dr. Ken Stephens, that is it. We're being an inspiration to the younger generation so that when you and I are not here tomorrow, we will have the younger ones take up where we left everything happen. And apropos the younger generation, I had someone who was an amazing teacher, a unique teacher, a teacher who cuts across generations, a teacher who has been completely endorsed by all of her pupils around the world. So today we'll be talking to a teacher who gives the tips on how to be a great parent and how to teach these young ones. If you're out there, share the video while we get our guests ready, share it on your timeline, invite other parents to come see how they can teach their children. Homeschooling is not that easy, so we got someone who will be telling us a little bit more about how to be a great teacher at home. Again, I welcome my co-host for today, Alice Michelle. Welcome, Alice Michelle.
Thank you, Miranda. Good evening to all. Good
Good
evening, Miranda. Hope you're all fine.
Right. No, we're fine. We're fine. I was just telling the guests out there, share the video, tell a parent, tell a mother how it is like to teach. We know it's not easy, but we have someone who has been a teacher for many, many years, over 3 decades, who will give us tips and hints on how it is you can teach your children at home so you get the best results. How was your teaching back in school? How were your teachers, Alice Michelle? In primary
Oh, my
school?
teachers were adorable. I remember my teacher of class 7,
Mm-hmm.
Misangwa. He was,
Right.
the teacher that everybody looks at when you look at you and you're not right,
Mm-hmm.
you know you're not right. He doesn't need to tell you that you're not right. And he was actually one of the best teachers I had. My primary school
Right.
life was awesome. Shout out to all my teachers, primary school, nursery school, secondary school,
Mm-hmm.
university. You made me who I am. And it's thanks to you that all of us are who we are today. From the president to the little kid, it's because there are teachers out there who are just so dedicated and that know
Right.
their work. Shout out to you all, courage in your work. This is a difficult period, we know, but I'm certain that the fruits that you're bearing today will flourish tomorrow.
Right. So the fruits that they're actually planting today, sowing today, are going to come bear trees later on, which will help the younger generation pass on there were knowledge for future people, future kids to use and benefit from it. But again, you mentioned your class 7 teacher. I will mention my class 4 teacher. This was class 4A, and she left a mark in my heart. Until today, it is still that bright face when I see her. It is still that lovely look when I meet her. She still refers to me as a pupil, which is actually adorable. So, ladies and gentlemen, Alice, how about we get our guest now?
Oh yeah, I'm
Woo!
looking for her.
Welcome to Mr. Shea.
Yeah,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Hello. Hello. Hello.
How are you today? I was
Hi.
telling people I'm going to say it on camera because if I go to each teacher and I tell them they were my favorite teacher, then it would look kind of suspicious. Like, how can every teacher be your favorite teacher? But when you say it live on camera, all the other teachers will hear and they have nothing to do about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Esther Shei, I repeat again, is my favorite teacher. So, welcome to you. Welcome to you and
Oh,
here with us today. I see. Yes, it's so good to have you here today with us.
thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be on.
Right, right. But before we delve into too many questions for you, we'll start with something basic. How was your day today?
Oh, my day was great. I was just home with this COVID-19. Stays home. So I just stayed home, cooked, and then we had lunch and I rested and then I got ready for the show, for the
That's great.
interview.
That's great. So, anyways, like I already introduced to you, my co-host Alice Michelle, a young, brilliant Cameroonian based in Italy. You are in Cameroon, and I am in Germany. So we'll have
Wow.
45 minutes to 1 hour discussion.
Okay. Hi, Alice.
hello, Auntie
Nice.
Esther. It's a pleasure meeting Miranda's favorite teacher. If she's that great, it means that you're greatest because there's nothing else to add to it.
Yes.
It's a pleasure meeting
I
you.
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, it's not a hope, it's a certainty for me. Yeah. We always say a lion cannot give birth to a sheep. So, of course, if
Definitely.
you're a lion,
Definitely.
then you must be more than a lion.
That's right.
So, and if you permit me, I'll call you Auntie Esther or Mom
Yes.
Esther.
Okay. It's all right. So many people call me that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Auntie Esther. So, we would like you, Auntie Esther, to tell our guest, who is Auntie Esther Shei? What's your profession, your passion, and philanthropy in maybe privacy?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting you clearly, but I'm sure you said, "Who am I?" Well, my
Yeah.
name is Esther Shei. I am originally from Cameroon and an American citizen right now. Uh, I was born here, and went to school here most of my life, and then I taught here from 1981 to 1999, and then I moved to the U.S. and I taught from 1999 to 2016. So you see, I've been a teacher like for 30 plus 35 or more years now. So my passion, you see, teaching, education, and then I like to cook. I like to have family over, and then I like to sing. I like to hang out with my friends. So those are some of the things that I like to do. That's
Wow.
I think a little bit about myself. I don't know if I touched on all the areas that you asked.
Yes, you have, Auntie Esther, you have. And we are just so marveled, Miranda and I, with more than 35 years as a teacher. That's more than a passion. I think that's a life goal because it's so hard today, especially for us youth, to stick on one profession or one thing for a very, very long time. We generally start with one, then along the long way, add another one, and add another one,
just
and sometimes we forget about the first one.
just
But
to
you,
tell just to tell you how it's my passion. When I left Cameroon and went to the US, a lot of people said, "Oh, teaching in the US is gonna be very hard. So why did you go into nursing or do something else?" I said, "Listen, I love to teach. I'm gonna try it." And then when I tried it, when I got into it, I saw, my students, respond the same way they did in Cameroon. So I knew that was what I was meant to do. So I've been doing that for all these years, and I love it.
wow, thank you very much, Auntie Esther. But then we are wondering, as a mother and a wife, you definitely miss your kids, especially now during this crisis. How has the coronavirus impacted the way you all communicate?
Yo, I can barely hear you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, actually, yeah, it's just like the question to find out, with your family and the fact that we have the coronavirus pandemic at the moment. How do you manage the communication with your family spread around the world? How do you manage the communication? We see there you featured with your family, your kids, etc. How do you manage the communication with everyone now being, is it closer or have you gone more apart? What is communication like in general now?
I mean, with the network, the internet over here, it's easy. What I do is that I get a gigabyte a day. I'm able to WhatsApp, talk to them on WhatsApp almost
Mhm,
every day. So sometimes we even do video chats, and
mhm.
so we're basically in touch. I miss them, physically, but I'm able to talk to them daily and sometimes weekly or every other day on WhatsApp and video calls.
Now,
Right.
So COVID or not, family is family. You gotta talk. You
That's
gotta
true.
stay in touch.
That's true. And actually, it's a good
Yeah,
thing right now that you say that because people are thinking it's now they have to get closer to each other, whereas you've always been that close to your
exactly.
family. So I think we thank God for technology, honestly.
yeah, we thank God for that.
Hmm.
Wow.
I'm sure the COVID-19 is giving family more family time, since most people are at home working from home or schooling, teaching from home. So
Right.
you get to spend time more with family, things
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have been able to do during the normal run out and running daily activities. So I think it's kind of in one way.
Yeah, I
And
think so
Esther, who
too.
surprised you? Today we met more than one of your people, not only Miranda. We met some other people, researched, and were able to find many, 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 many of your people. And they all say hi. There's Christelle, who sends her greeting, is one of your people, and is also one of Miranda's favorite people.
Yes, and back then you used to call Christelle Deep in school. So she said hi. She's so excited about this interview today. So a lot of your pupils have been sending messages like, "Oh, she was my favorite teacher," and I, Miranda, you know me, auntie. I'm like, "No, she was my favorite teacher." So, but I mean, I'm so
I didn't get the names. I didn't get the
That's
names.
Deep Christelle,
Who names?
Deep
Okay,
Christelle.
Deep,
Yeah, so Deep.
Christina.
Yes, Christina. She's like, "Was my favorite teacher." I'm like, "It was my favorite teacher." But I think
She was
what
not
drew
your
you?
favorite teacher, but she was her
No,
favorite teacher.
yes, I try to be very
You guys are
possessive.
making me jealous.
Don't be
I
jealous, Alice. You have to go back to class 4A in Bastos Primary School to meet Mrs. Shea. You won't. If we had a time machine. Yeah, but anyway, Auntie, but what drew you to education, to teaching? What drew you to teaching years back?
Oh my God.
We'll
Can
be
you say
writing.
that again?
Yeah, we'll be writing the questions so you can also see them. What drew you to education, to teaching?
Okay.
hmm What drew?
Okay. What
What
drew
made?
me to teaching?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was by chance.
hmm
I left secondary school, got married immediately, and then they launched the entrance exam into teacher training college, and I just happened to write the exam and pass.
hmm
So it was just a coincidence. But when I went in there, I saw I think that's what I was meant to do. That's what drew me into teaching, and I loved it.
And from then on, has
Yeah.
it changed? Has it intensified? Have other people been inspired to become teachers just seeing the way you do your work remarkably well?
Exactly. So at some point, I think around 93, I went to École Normale Supérieure, which is higher teacher training college, the higher
hmm
diploma college in
hmm
Cameroon. So, I was a science of education student. Then I went to for teaching practice, and I taught teachers to be teachers. So you
Okay.
could see the enthusiasm, like just seeing the way I was teaching. They were so inspired. They were like, please, madam, like Miranda says, please, madam, like, what can I do? How can I get to where you are?
Right.
All of that. And I told them that I started as a grade two teacher, and I've moved all the way to a category A2 in the public service, from category
Okay.
C to a category A2. So I have moved up the ladder. So they too have the chance to move up the ladder, if they work hard and if they really put their mind to what they are doing. So, I mean, I can see that my teaching inspired them. So some of them really wanted to continue in that path.
That's awesome. That's actually awesome. Being able to make others see what you're doing and love what you do. Right, Alice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome. But that's legacy. Yeah. And to say, Auntie Esther, with
Yes,
all
dear.
the years you've had as a teacher, how do you compare the teaching methods years ago and that with modern technology?
Uh-huh. Now, very, very different. During our days in elementary school or primary school, teaching Miranda and the rest, it was barely lecturing. Lecture. No, like we would any hands-on activities, the kids, there were none. So it was lecture all the way. And then so if we needed the kids to bring counters, they brought it from home. We didn't have charts. We didn't have technology. There was nothing. So we had to prepare the lessons, come, teach, and that was it. The kids learned and then, did the assignments or exercises, and that was it. But when I left and went to the US, it was a totally different classroom atmosphere. It was small groups, a lot of technology. We even had smart boards where the kids could interact. They could come up to the boards, and it was just a total. I was like, wow. I don't know how these kids were able to learn and learn good. Yeah, learn and learn with a passion. I don't know how they did it. Yeah, so teaching in Cameroon and teaching in the US was like different. And with a whole lot of support in the US, you have all these trainings, you have the kids are exposed, you have computers all over the school. They
Sure.
even have iPads now,
Mhm.
so it's just different.
We just had
Yeah.
our little heads on
And
our
then we
shoulders.
have in the US, they have like they give the students manipulatives and a lot of games, and and then you have different teachers coming in out,
Mhm.
pulling out to do small groups and that. But we didn't have that in Cameroon, so
Oh my goodness.
it's two different worlds.
So you see why I say you were a
Yeah,
marvelous teacher. With all lack of technology and all those gadgets we have, you still made us who we are today. So again,
I know. That's what I'm
yes,
saying. I don't know.
amazing.
I don't know how you would have turned out if we had all what the modern whatever schools have,
True.
schools in Cameroon have. I
Auntie,
don't
we
know
have a
how that
surprise
would
greeting
have
for
been.
you out there. Look who is saying, love this, Miranda. Desmond Shea.
He's on. Hi,
Yeah.
Desmond.
Hi, Des. Hi, Des. How are you? Share the video. Get your brothers to come and watch. We know your mom. We're just talking about her being a teacher because we owned her as a teacher. But as a mom, we know what a magnificent mom she was. Ladies and gentlemen out there watching, before you think, oh, what an excellent teacher, she had the dedication as well to be that great mom. Those are her boys. That is
The
Eddie.
man in black.
Yes, the men in black, Eddie, Wilson, and Desmond. So Auntie S is not only Auntie S, she's also Mommy S to a lot of great
Boy.
young men and women out there. And now we're talking about
And even
family.
and my students, my kids were in my class too.
That's
They
true.
were
As
my
a matter of
pupils
fact,
too.
that's true. As a matter of fact, I went to school with Auntie S' first boy, the one you see far
Oh,
left here. That is Edwin, and I was
Yes.
in class with Edwin. So
Edwin was in your class,
that's
Miranda.
true. That's true. That's true. And then, of course, the youngest baby of the house, Maureen, that's Auntie S when she's with
Do
her
you know?
girl. Yeah.
Do you know? I found a picture. I found our class 4A picture.
Are
Check
you
this out.
serious?
oh,
I
Oh,
pulled
give
it
me
out.
wait a minute.
I dug.
Oh my
I dug it
goodness.
out.
man, I can see somewhere on there.
I need a copy of this picture. Oh
Look
my
at me. I don't
goodness.
know if I can zoom into
Yeah,
Miranda
that is
right
me in
there.
there, the little
Yeah,
girl
I
there.
can spot you
Second
around.
row, second row, standing in the second position. That's me. I'm
Yeah.
standing right
There
above
you
Kemia.
are.
Yeah, right above Kemia Titanji. And then next to me, that's Jenny's Bouton.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And
And
there
that's
and
you
there I
in red.
am
There you are in the red dress with the white collar. Oh my goodness.
with
Yeah.
my red.
It's so amazing to have my
Oh
picture
God.
on board. Auntie, do we want to talk about me as a pupil now?
Miranda, I can
Huh?
see that you guys were already making Wakanda forever.
Oh,
Why
yes. We were
beginning
already
to
in the
Wakanda? Yeah,
Wakanda mode there. Auntie,
Wakanda
do
is
we
so
talk about me as a student now or later?
What is it?
I said, do we talk about me as a pupil now or do we do that later? Because
We can talk about you as a pupil.
Yeah, hi, oh, Maureen. Hello, Maur. Oh my goodness. Now this is going to take us completely off course. Hi, Maur. That is Mrs. Esther Shei's beautiful daughter, ladies and gentlemen. That's Maureen. She says, hi, you all. Hi, Miranda. Maureen, kindly share this video. Get Mrs. Esther Shei's students to watch and see what she is still doing today to help other teachers able to teach their children at school, sorry, at home, right? My mom, class 5 and class 7 teacher, she's simply the best. Auntie, that's for you.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
Isn't this beautiful? This is really adorable. This is adorable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, yeah, one of my friends was asking me, Miranda, you'll be interviewing your teacher. What were you like as a pupil? I said, well, let's ask her directly live on stream. I wanted this unfiltered. That's why I didn't ask you behind the scenes, Auntie. So tell our viewers what Miranda.
Listen, Miranda Dinoy is a student I will never forget.
Oh.
This girl, oh my gosh, she was aggressive for learning. Uh, she did not want to have anything less than 100 in all her subjects.
Aggressive and
She
being
did
best.
not want to take any number below 1. If anybody took first, she had to go look for her papers and find out what went wrong, what did I do wrong, how did I what. And she was first all the time. I think all her primary school, all her secondary school, all high school, and she's still going at it. What a
Thank you,
student.
Auntie. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She would follow me home. She would follow me home to go find out what should I do, how should I do this, and how can I do this better. And so she's one of those students that pushed me to do more because she wanted more. I as a teacher, I had to do more, give her just what more than what she wanted. So it made them do better in school. That class and those kids were just different.
Wow. Maureen just confirmed
That's
it.
Miranda
Yeah.
Dinoy.
Yeah.
Maureen
Oben.
confirmed it that
My
your
mom's second daughter.
and yeah, you were aggressive indeed. And Desmond goes on to say,
That's true. Maureen says,
yeah,
She said,
yeah.
I said,
Yeah,
I said
I
you were.
was. Right. Yeah, but it actually is true, Alice. I would go check my papers to see what it is. And when we were in class 5A, I realized my teacher back then, Mr. Gantu, had made a mistake in one of my, like there was arithmetic part 1 and part 2. He had made a mistake in my part 2 paper. And when I show him, I'm like, nah, you have to put the right score on my report card. I'm first of the class. And he's like, I cannot correct it now. Can we do it during the second term? I'm like, no, I'm going to the headmaster, Mr. Oben.
I was like, nope.
Nope, we have to do it now. And you announce it to everybody that you made a mistake and I was the first of the class. And he did it. And he did it during the second term. And then I brought the paper. So a little lawyer at work at that time. Yes, I was. And you're not making a mistake with my paper and you come change my grades. I'm like, no.
no.
You better mark that paper right and give her the right grades.
Yes.
And add up all her grades right.
That's correct.
Or she'll
Thank
come
you
after
so
you.
much. Come after you. That was right. I came after Mr. Gantu. Like I was like, no. You made a mistake. You told the class you made a mistake. All right. But anyways, thank you so much, Auntie. It's good to have it from the teacher and unfiltered, So yes. Yes, I enjoyed. Right, I really enjoyed being the first of my class. To be honest, I was always pushing because there is something in me that kept telling me that there is more to this. You have to excel. You have to show the others. And another thing which Auntie didn't know is that when she finished teaching, I was helping the others to learn as well. Because I was using now my young voice as a child to try to teach them what you
Mm-hmm.
had just taught so they could also understand, right? But then I always made sure that even if you understand, there's no way you're going to beat me in class. Forget it. So yes, it helped a lot of people also do their homeworks, and yeah, it was a good time at school. I'll say it was a good time for me at school. But when you have a great
Yes.
teacher, you were a mom, you were a
Yes.
wife, you were a teacher. So you're one of those mothers back then who was already doing a lot of things at the time. You were not sitting home and just being the housewife. No, you were doing, and you were doing amazing. And the feedback always hits me because when people kept saying that you were great, I was like, wow, there is something amazing about Mrs. Shea, and it's an honor, to be honest. It's an honor to have you with us today. So Alex, before I get emotional, please carry on.
Yeah, that's pretty emotional. It's an honor, and
Don't get
I'm happy.
emotional.
I'm glad. I'm grateful to share this with you too, because I'm like, by then I was not surely born by then even, but then I'm able to witness everything live.
That's
I'm
true.
really
That's true.
grateful, and it's a
Mhm.
pleasure to meet you, Auntie Esther, Miranda's second mom, because I
Yes,
know the
definitely,
exactly.
definitely, definitely. I'll accept to that. I'll accept to that. That yes, if Maureen, who is her daughter, says her mom was my second mom, you have to know what growing up was like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. So Alice,
Yes, Auntie Es. So we would like you, Auntie Esther,
Yeah.
to imagine
Yeah.
that the corona outbreak we're having currently happened in the 90s when you were still a teacher in Cameroon. What do
Yeah.
you think could have been done to foster education during the crisis?
Well, thank God it didn't happen in the 90s because then we didn't have technology, we didn't have phones, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers. So I don't know. I cannot even imagine. But I'm just gonna, use my knowledge to say, if it had happened in the 90s, of course we will be taking directives from the Ministry of Education then, which is basic education now, and then they would pass down through the inspectorate to the teachers or to the head teachers what we can do. So I'm suggesting things like, we would prepare a package for the kids to take home, assignments for them to do, because, in the schools we used to have math books, we used to have the reader, we used to have rural science books and all that. So we would prepare maybe, I don't know, if school will be able to type up some assignments for them to take home and do while they are home, because that's the only way. Everything had to be in books and on papers. Then so I'm thinking, while we are home as teachers, if anybody needed help, we would give you one-on-one, come over, because most students knew where their teachers are, right, Miranda?
yes,
Most
definitely.
students
We
knew where
knew.
their teachers lived.
Yep.
Yes, so I remember you always used to come by. So the
Yes.
students will be allowed to come by to the teachers, and if they needed any help. So I think that's that's what I would have done. Give you assignments, then if you needed help, then you could come over for me to explain any areas that kids had difficulties with. I'm
Thank you
I'm
very
sure
much.
that's it. There was no if I answered your question.
Yeah, you did answer my question, and that question leads to another one again. Another one. What skills can teacher use to keep the thirst? Because be it in the 90s or in this present era or year, it's hard for students,
Hmm.
people staying home to really keep that flame burning when it concerns education. Because with the coronavirus, you have to stay home. There's no pressure. So, what skills can teachers use to keep the thirst for learning in their people during Corona and after?
Can teachers use while they are home, while the kids are at home?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
skills that they can use to really make the children to keep the flame burning, the desire to learn during
Yeah.
and after COVID. Because it's proven after COVID, it'll be hard to really
Okay,
adapt to normal life situation.
I know. It's a really difficult. Let me see, Miranda. I'm gonna have to go and reconnect.
Okay. All right. No
Okay.
worries. We'll just hang on to your
All right.
back
So
here. Mhm.
And yeah.
All
okay.
right then. Okay. Talk to you in a bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, our
Do
guest
I
is gonna.
leave?
Yeah, you could just leave, or we just take you off the stream. So, Alice have the technical background. Yeah, take Auntie off the stream so she can reconnect. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're having an amazing guest, Esther Shei, a teacher who, excuse me, of course, we have to cough in our elbows, right? You saw that, Alice? You saw that?
Yeah.
Again, so we're having today, ladies and gentlemen, a teacher give us tips on what it is like to be a teacher and the success, how you can get the best results. I have to go this way so you see me. How to get the best. Alice, you have to shift to the other side so they can see you. It's like a mirror image, right? So Mrs.
Yeah.
S. A Cameroonian by birth and currently a U.S. citizen, is giving us tips after over 35 years of being a teacher. She's telling us about the effective ways of homeschooling for parents and children. So she's giving us tips from the perspective of a mom, the perspective of a unique teacher about how to achieve the best results in teaching. She's also telling us how it is like she's compared the education, what it was like as a teacher in Yaoundé in Cameroon, and then what it was like to be a teacher in the USA. And then she's also going to be mentioning to us very soon how you can use technology of nowadays to be able to teach children from that distance, or how to use now little ways to get your kids at home still interested in teaching, although you're not a real teacher. So when Ms. Shei gets back, she'll be telling us what skills teachers can use to keep that thirst of learning in their pupils during this COVID-19 and thereafter. So just stay with us, stay tuned. And until Ms. Shei gets back, we'll just introduce you to a little bit again of what we've told before now. Her family, she's a wife and a mom of four, three amazing young men, and a girl as well, Maureen. Maureen is tuned in from the USA, as well as Mrs. Shei's three boys as well from the USA. That is Edwin featured, and Wilson and Desmond. So these are the kids, and of course, a pride because their mom has been who she is to many, 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 many pupils around the world. That's why you would hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mrs. Shea is my favorite teacher." Oh, well, she's a favorite teacher to a lot of people. So as soon as she can reconnect, we'll bring her onto the live stream. I'll just check to see if she's back on. No, not yet. As soon as okay, are you back, Auntie? Okay, not yet. As soon as she's back, we'll carry on. But what was life like for you at school, Alice? Did you have this close relation with your teacher, like what you see me enjoying with Mrs. Shea?
Yeah, I did have. Like I said, Mr. Ngwafobe,
Mhm,
here since he died many years ago.
mhm,
He was so close. And
mhm.
I remember in class 5, sometimes he used to call me to trash class 7 children. And to
Mhm.
today, he hate me because of that. Because he used to say, how can a class 5 or class 4 student answer such a question? And you're in
Right.
class 7 and you can't answer that. So it was just lots of memories, lots of just good memories,
That's
actually.
good. That's
I don't
amazing.
remember all my friends back then, but
Mhm,
at least I remember most of my teachers,
mhm.
and it was just so awesome. I think that's where we get the love or for what we do today. That's where we get
Right.
the love and the zeal to learn forward to force to go far in education because of
Okay.
our teachers.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
Miss Shay is around.
Yeah. Okay. If she's around, fine, and just get her own. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Auntie S, you're back.
But then we have Maureen who says she needs a Kleenex because
Because I
we
was
just
like, I got emotional. I was gonna cry. Maureen is laughing at me, and she's like, "Where's the Kleenex?"
I'm
we have Jill who says hi to all.
Hi,
Hello, Jill.
Gilles. Hello, Gilles Luxembourg. You see the Kleenex more? You see, mommy is already crying.
hello.
Oh, you're back.
Hello.
Right. So the internet is stalling a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're back. You're back. So Auntie S, can you hear us? Auntie S, can you hear us? Okay, it's stalling a bit, but let's see if the connection will get a bit more stable. Like we always say, it's not that easy with the connection when we have the guests from. Okay, I see you, Auntie, but I don't know if you can hear us. Okay, test, test.
Hello.
Hello, Auntie, can you hear us?
Yes,
Perfect, perfect.
Oh,
I can hear you.
Oh, that looks good. That looks
Oh
good.
God.
That looks good. So, let's try. Let's just try. We were actually wrapping up, because let's see if we can put on this team again. You see, when I tell you she was my favorite teacher, Alice, you see how she's tried and tried and tried and
yeah,
tried
she's
to make
right.
sure she connects. So, Auntie, we really appreciate your time, and we happy you didn't give up. You kept trying, just like I was saying. You're an inspiration to so many, a legacy in teaching, right? Because of all these qualities, you've just shown us another quality of yours, which I couldn't describe. You've tried as much as possible until you're back. Over 35 years as a teacher, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Esther Shei, I was saying, will be back, but she was able to reconnect. So we'll just try to see if you can take one more question. The question Alice asked before the internet started acting up on us. Let's see if we can. Wow, let's have few moments with her. Yes, Deep is watching, and she's happy to have a few more moments with you, Mrs. Shei. So let's see here if you can take just that question Alice was on. Right. So let's go back to at least what skills teachers can use to keep the thirst for learning in their pupils during the COVID-19 and thereafter.
Yeah.
Auntie S, can you hear us?
Yes. Can, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah, we
can.
can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, most of the teachers are now using the computers. Like they have programs like my colleagues in the U.S. in New York. They're
Mm-hmm.
using
Mm-hmm.
programs that have already been set up. You know, like they have My Own, which is a reading program for New
Mm-hmm.
York City schools. So the kids can go on there and then read storybooks,
Mm-hmm.
read storybooks, and then answer questions
Mm-hmm.
from those books, and that's like to maintain continuity. Then a lot of them are also using Google Meet, where they
Mm-hmm.
can come together with their students and then go over some of the skills like in math and reading and social studies or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that set up. Then yeah, then the teachers um, they are giving them assignments. They're giving assignments for the parents to do with the kids, like for
Mm-hmm.
science, whatever they're doing, if they, whatever activity they're doing at home, you know, they can get their kids involved in, like even during cooking.
Mm-hmm.
They can assist, count with them, measure with them, you know, stuff like that they can do. So I think that's basically to make use of a lot of computer programs that they have. And then most of the schools, like in the US, they have the kids have iPads. So when they went home with their iPads, so they can assign them, you know, work on the iPads. And then you have programs like iReady in
Mm-hmm.
the schools that the kids can go on, look at their reading level, and then they can work based on their levels in reading and in math.
Mm-hmm.
So to maintain continuity. And then for parents, I was going to say, I thought the parents need more put in routines
Teacher
that
use to keep the third.
mimic what goes on. Yes, that mimics what goes on in the classroom, so that the kids don't, lag behind. So make sure you have the routines. Get up in the morning, take a shower, and then start work based on the activities that the teachers have assigned. Make sure that there's structure and there's schedules for them to follow. Don't just let them stay there and watch TV throughout the whole day. Then what happens? Then they become lazy. And then by the time schools go back after the COVID-19, then the kids have forgotten. Kids forget so easily. I know what's going to happen when they go back to school in September or whenever. Teachers are going to have a whole lot of work to do with remediation and all that stuff. So it's going to be a hard time. So the parents need to follow up what the assignments that the teachers are giving them, and then make sure that they keep their kids in structure and in the routines. I don't know if I have,
Oh yeah, definitely.
You
and
have,
then a lot of
you
writing.
have,
Writing is one thing too. Make sure you have journal writing every day. You can
Okay.
write about current events, whatever is happening. Just you have a journal where you write. The kids write about. Even if they cannot write, they can draw a picture. You can draw a picture and have their parents, write a sentence about the picture. And then those who can write, they can write. Just make sure they write daily about
Okay.
different topics,
Oh no. Okay, that's
current
good.
events, or or a report, the book report that they read on the internet, or a hard copy. A lot of writing, so that will keep them. And then at the end of the day, you make sure you bring your kids together, and then you share what was one thing that you learned today, or what was a challenge that you had, so you can sit down as a family and go over your what you learned, and then what are some difficulties that you had.
Okay.
So structure, routine, schedules, they have to be put in place, because if not, the kids think it's free time. It's time for them to just go watch TV, sit there, be lazy. And then by the time schools or COVID-19 is over and schools reopen, then the kids are having a hard time.
Okay.
thank you very much, Auntie Esther. So, that will just lead us to another question. Now, you've taught in both systems, as a Cameroonian system, educational system, and you've also taught in American system. So what are those things that we can get from the American education system? No, it scores high worldwide. You say America, many people want to go study in America because it's really high in terms of education. So what are those things that is being done there in their system that can be applied in our own local system? That what can our teachers learn from teachers in US and apply here in Cameroon to foster our own educational system?
All right. First of all, classroom size in the US is different. You have a classroom with maximum 20 kids in a class. Sometimes you have 20, 25, up to 30. That's a small group compared to 90 and 100 that we have in Cameroon or in Africa. I don't know about other countries. Let me talk about Cameroon. So that's already one thing that makes it different. Then the next thing, I mean, it's hard for you to even teach when you have 100 in a class or 90 kids in a class. And it's easier to be able to attend to kids when you have a few. Even though teachers in the US, they still complain about class size. They would rather have 20 or less kids. I know the smaller the better. So that's one thing. Then the next thing is that in the US, they have kids. If you see the setup in the classroom, it's group sitting. So kids sit in groups of 4 or 5 or 6. So that way, the teacher's able to move around and
Mhm.
sit in one group and work with the kids in that small group, and then you can go to the next group. Sometimes you even have assignments, different assignments for the different groups. Sometimes you have kids are grouped according to their level. So you have kids that are maybe level one, level two, three, and four, based on their needs and their deficiencies. So that way you are able to work with the kids at their level. This group, maybe level one, needs maybe more phonics or whatever, and then the others are able to read on their own. So while the kids are reading on their own, you're able to work with the kids that still need to practice or put together 2 3 letter words. So you can work with that. And then, so kids that can work independently, while they are working independently, you are doing one-on-one or two, groups of two or whatever. So that's one thing. Then another thing is that in schools in the US, they have a lot of technology. I think I mentioned that before.
Mhm.
So kids have iPads in the classroom, and then they can go in there with programs like My Own that I said, or iReady. They can sit there and work independently while others are doing a different activity. Or if it is doing math, kids can be doing working their assignments while you do remediation with the kids that maybe a skill that you taught they didn't get it. But meanwhile, in Cameroon, is one whole lecture. Everybody, teacher stands in the front of the class and just teaches the whole class. So you don't pay attention to the kids that are struggling. So,
Mhm.
most of the time, those kids just fall by the wayside. They end up
Right.
repeating and repeating, and then they
Mhm.
just drop out, you know. So, but in the US, they make sure that they look at the kids' strengths, weaknesses, those that are lacking, need academic, assistance. They are given more attention. You even have pull out. Some teachers come, take them out of the classroom and work with them out of their home room, their classrooms. So that way they have more help. Then most classrooms in the US, they have smart boards. So there's interactive learning. And then one thing too in the US is that they have centers. They have learning centers. So you have a math center with all the manipulatives that the kids need to do money. They have real play money. But in Cameroon, we just taught them money. Nobody, had money to learn, to really
Right.
see and put
Mhm.
together, subtract, add, or whatever. So they have all the centers. They have a science center. They have a social studies center. Then they have a reading center with books and that. Miranda, did we have books did we have a library
We
in
had a
our
library,
classroom?
yes. But it was not in the classroom. It was a general library in school where everyone went to. We had a general library. So yes, we did
Yeah.
have. To go borrow books,
Yes.
write your name,
But
write the
not in the
day, and bring.
classroom.
Not in the classroom, no, no. At least to the best of my knowledge, no. It was a general library.
It was just a library. So, but
Mhm.
in the US, you have a classroom library, and then you have books
Oh.
that are labeled, according to the reading levels. You have a level A
Mhm.
book, B, C, and so on, based on the reading levels of that class.
Mhm.
So when the
Okay.
kids finish their work, they can go and get books from the baskets based on their levels, and they can take those books home and bring them back. So that's something
Mhm.
we have in the US that we don't
Okay.
have in common. Yeah.
I think this is
And
a
then
good one
all
for
the
teachers to
charts.
implement.
Yes, in Cameroon, in the US, they say that your classroom is your second teacher.
Mhm.
So you look at the classroom, you have bulletin boards that
Mhm.
have reading stuff. The kids
Mhm.
can go there and read. They have charts and all
Mhm.
those things put up all around the classroom. And
Mhm.
then, the kids can refer, they can go and look at those those things that are available for them to enhance their learning and to facilitate their learning. I
That's
mean,
good.
I did look around. When I came back, I went to some classrooms
Mm-hmm.
in Cameroon, and I see that they're beginning to put up charts, which is a good thing.
That's
So,
great.
I
That's
mean, I
great.
think I'm sure gradually we will get there. They might have computers maybe in one room,
Mm-hmm.
not in the classrooms, but hopefully they'll gradually get there.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I
Mm.
actually like that.
Thank you. So we have a few questions. We have Maureen who is asking, what about parents struggling with the subject matter?
Yeah, so right now that parents, kids are home with their parents, I know a lot of them have been complaining about. Like I got a video that a parent was was saying, I don't know how to look for how to solve improper fraction. What is an improper fraction? Or how do I do, mixed fractions or whatever? And they don't know. So you need parents with their teacher from the beginning of the year. So reaching out to those teachers like right now, like during the COVID-19. So they should be able to call the teacher, send them a WhatsApp message, or or whatever means of communication, on phone them to say, I'm struggling with this. How do I, explain to my child how to solve this problem?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I
Mm-hmm.
have a science project, how do I go about the science project when I don't know how to do it? So
Yeah.
have a good rapport with your teacher from the beginning of the year. Be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. Teachers are very open. They are willing to help parents when they need when they need assistance. I know a lot of methods of teaching now are different from now. You need to see the way they do long division is quite different. Even just simple 2 or 3 digit addition, hundred tens and ones. It's a
Yeah.
different skill, different way of adding or subtracting, different from the way that we learn. So when parents are struggling, they need to reach out to the teacher, and and I'm sure teachers will be willing to help. They should not be shy. You should not. This is not the time for you to say, "Oh, that teacher is this," or "I don't like the teacher," or what, because the kids too are watching. When you're able to communicate freely, openly with your child's teacher, the students who will be comfortable when they go back to school. So I think this is a time for
Mhm.
parents and teachers to bond, to communicate better in order to help their kids. So Maureen, I
Exactly.
hope I
So
answered your
Maureen goes
question.
on
Whatever,
asking,
huh?
you have, I'm sure you have. So she goes on asking, what about
Then I was also
those
gonna add that
kids home?
some of
How do you manage everybody at
some
the
of
same time?
can I add that some of the skills, if you go online, you'll be able to find a way of solving some of those problems, especially in math, with this new way of teaching long division or addition or subtraction or whatever. you know you can go online, and you'll be able to find. I know maybe some parents would not have the internet or the means or whatever. Okay.
Mm. So Auntie,
Okay,
Maureen goes
so
on
she's
asking,
also
what about those
asking,
parents who have many kids?
like, how do
She's
you go
asking
with
also,
homeschooling with several children at home? So,
exactly.
with homeschooling, yeah, when you're homeschooling with several children at home, at the beginning, remember I was talking about the schedule. So you know how to plan the schedule based on the children's needs and the different levels. So You can plan where, maybe the child that, when you're working with one child, the other child is either on a computer doing an activity, or the child is reading a book silently, or the child is doing activity in their math, or they're reading book while you're working with maybe you're doing one-on-one instruction with one child. So it's just for you to be able to plan the schedule in a way where when you're working with one child, another one is doing an activity which doesn't require you being, there to assist. And then also explain to the child that when you're working with one child, with a specific child, who the other child that is not working with the parent at that time should not come to interrupt whatever whatever you're doing. They should have their own whatever activity. They should be working on it independently. So it's just to set up those routines with your children, and once they understand, I'm sure they'll be able to. We have those issues too in the classrooms. I was a special education teacher, and when you have a special education classroom, sometimes you have second, third, and fourth grade students in one classroom. So how does the teacher manage it? So you can work with one grade. When you finish with one grade, while those children in that grade are doing their assignment, then you can work with the another grade. So it's just how you plan yourself. So I hope that that helps out. you know
Yeah, it will help. I'm sure it helps.
Very good question,
And
Mark.
another question again from Christelle Deep. What advice as a seasoned teacher and mother give out to parents or schools out here back in Cameroon on how to maintain their brains active during COVID-19 period?
what advice as a seasoned teacher and mother give out to parents or schools out here back in Cameroon on how to maintain their
Brains.
active?
Their brains
Yeah.
active.
So I know in Cameroon it's easy. Where I live, I hear children playing outside throughout the whole day. That is unacceptable. So I know I know most of the schools, when the kids went home, they gave them assignments, they gave them work to do, and a lot of them have been given assignments, or are given assignments during the week or daily or however on WhatsApp. So you need to, like I was saying, set up a schedule. In the morning, you wake up, if it's a table, and you can do even a read aloud. Do a reading, or whatever, or work. Let them do their work in the morning. Have time for them to even join you in the kitchen to cook. Cooking is an activity. Can be part of the activity. While they're cooking, they can be counting, measuring, or whatever, tasting. You know, they should learn whatever the parent is doing, keeping them busy, because that is also an activity, and have time to rest. Let them mimic. I said they should mimic school schedules. The time for them to eat lunch, then after lunch, there should be time for them to rest, and then they get up, and then they can also have afternoon activities, even play as a family, have games around. So come up with science lessons. What happens if we peel a cocoyam and put salt in there? What happens?
Yeah.
Let us observe that and see. So they can come up with science lessons in at home.
That's a good one.
Thank you very much for that. So one more question, Auntie Esther. We would like to know this time. We want you to think about you being when you were still a student. Saccharet. Imagine thinking back in life, a secondary school student. even from 5 today, what would have happened if the school locked down, faced a lockdown? So we are trying to move you from the position of a teacher and a mother to that of a student.
It's from 5, and we
Yes.
are on
Yeah.
lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'll be going home with tons of books to go read and tons of assignments to go do at home. So I mean, I hope we will be able to set up a WhatsApp group that we can chat together with our teachers, or a Google Meet where we can, or a Zoom where we can Zoom and have discussions with our teachers. I hope so, because otherwise, I don't know. I don't even want to imagine what would have happened if, when we were in Form 5 in Sika, with 10 subjects, 10 subjects
Right.
to study, to read.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Preparing for
So
the
we
GCE.
will set up WhatsApp. Yeah, and then you have to prepare for GCE. My God. You have novels, physics, chemistry. Do you remember the physics books? I
Yeah.
bought.
Yes.
You have to carry those. You have to carry those home. So
Google
Yeah.
hopefully
Subtotal. Jesus
hopefully they
Christ.
would set up WhatsApp
Hectic.
group and Google Meet and Zoom for us to be able to, and WhatsApp and have phones to be able to connect.
We
Because
actually see,
otherwise we will be
Yeah.
going, huh?
we're snooping around and we found this picture. Who do you remember here and where was this?
Now, these are my classmates in Seka. We call ourselves the Pluckies.
The
So
plucky.
recently we went, so yes, so we're celebrating, this is class of 1977. So we are
Ooh,
celebrating our 60th birthday this year. So this was our first trip. We went
Wow.
to Cape Town. So that was in Cape Town, South Africa. That was in February.
wow,
So we
wow.
recently went to Seka. So my class is a special class in Seka. 14 of us went to South Africa on a trip, just a pleasure trip for 9 days.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was fun.
Wow. I can imagine. I think that's what we try to tell
It was,
people to make the most of now because you can never know tomorrow. I see you all cozy and happy on the picture, you know? So make the most of every day because you can never tell what tomorrow brings.
yes,
And we actually
I
snooped,
know.
we snooped around again. Look what we found.
So this one, this is in Atlanta. This is in Atlanta. 2 years, I think 2 years ago. Every year the Sacreds have a convention in one of the states or in the cities. So
Mhm.
that 2 years ago we were in Atlanta celebrating, just enjoying, having fun, and thinking of how to help our alma mater, Sacred Baptist College.
Great,
So
great. So is that
that,
the
what you
uniform
see, what
here?
we're wearing. So
Hmm.
that what we're wearing is our national uniform.
Okay.
It's our national uniform. Every sacred who is registered has that uniform. So we wear that on official businesses.
Okay. So who are some of the people we can see featured here? Just mention a few. You can't mention all. Who do we see featured here, for example?
Oh God, I can't see.
Well, right next to you, there's this lady with the glasses. Next to you, there's this lady with the yellow scarf. So, well, actually, yeah, it's a minute picture. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. If you can't see them properly, it's okay. They're quite small on the picture.
Yeah.
I'll let you carry on, Alice.
Yeah. So Auntie, as we're about to round up, and but before we round up, we would like you to would like to have a special message from you to the world, from you to other teachers that are looking at this and that will look at this video afterward. From you to our parents, because our parents are our first teachers. We learn to say mommy and daddy while we're home, and that's part of teaching. So, what's your special message to the world, Auntie Esther?
Oh, a special message from me to the world right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, number one is the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the scientists, follow the medical advice, social distancing, wear your mask, wash your hands so we can prevent the spread because it is alarming. It's scary. The numbers, it's just overwhelming. That's number one. The next thing is children at home. As a teacher, children at home, please keep your children engaged. Keep them engaged. Let there be a routine, let there be a schedule. Don't let them just sit there and watch. And parents, please do your work as parents. You are parents, you're teachers also. Help your kids so that when they go back in September or whenever schools resume, they are not lost. And that will make the teacher's job harder if you don't stay on top of your kids. Please follow, follow, follow the routines.
Great, 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 great. Auntie
Thank
Esther,
you very much.
Alice and I actually know where you're going to be. Yeah, on the 18th of December. I was just going to say that before you wrap up, Alice.
Ah,
Sorry. I was saying, Auntie S, you know where we know
Okay.
where you're going to be on the 18th of December. So this is our special
ah,
invitation. This is our special invitation to you to meet us at the returnees event on the 18th of December in
in
Douala.
December.
Yes, in Douala, if the COVID-19 permits.
Okay. It is, if it is, it's okay. I would love to be there.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, Alice?
Yeah, and see. So before we round up, we like are
Special
there any
greetings.
special people?
Yes.
Yes, special greetings. Who do you want to shout out to?
All right. For all my family members watching, Maureen, Desmond, my sister Elizabeth, I saw them come on. Hello to you. I love you all. My husband is right here listening. Hello. Special greetings. And I want to I want to greet my mom, my sisters, and my father's not here, but I will greet because he is my inspiration. He did
Wow.
everything he could to send us to school. He didn't have enough money, a lot of money, but he tried his best to send us to boarding school. So he's my inspiration. He's the one that made me who I am. And thanks to God, I made it. I really appreciate. A special, special shout out to my plucky sisters, pluckies. Ooh la la, class of 1977.
All right, so a special a shout out to the Pluckies. That's the class of 1997, 1977, 77, right? 1977 in.
1977.
Wow, wow. Well, anyway, 97, you were already a teacher because you've been a teacher for over 35 years, like we
Yes.
said. So thank you so much
Yes.
for the useful
I
tips.
was
I
already
just
a teacher.
remember, yeah, you were already a teacher. We actually had a chance to meet one of your sisters when we were in the USA. She was a
Yes.
special one. She also spoke so well of
My
you.
sister Mary. You saw my
Yeah,
sister
I
Mary?
don't know if she's on this picture.
Huh?
It's a picture of the three of you in
Yes.
a
Ooh,
mall.
those are my two sisters, Elizabeth and Mary.
Great, 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 great. So we'll just be wrapping up this interview
Three.
with that. Right. So Alice,
Huh?
so we just wrapped up the interview with
Yes.
that special picture, and we don't know what your favorite music is. We would have played it for you if you let us know.
The special music?
Yeah, what's your favorite
Yeah.
song?
Don't know. I like gospel.
Like gospel.
Do
What
you
about
have anything? Do you have
Alice?
anything by
And
Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir?
ooh, what's that? Brooklyn?
Brooklyn Tabernacle
Tabernacle
Choir.
Choir.
Tabernacle Choir. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. Yeah, and what about your favorite
And
books?
Huh?
What about your favorite books to recommend?
Oh, my favorite. I really don't have a whole lot of books. I read uh Behold the Dreamers
Mm-hmm.
by Imbolo Mbwe, who happens to be a sacred. That
Okay.
I love that book.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't put it down.
Wow.
It's a book that everybody, especially immigrants, need to read that book.
Mm-hmm.
Behold the Dreamers.
Behold the Dreamers by Imbolo Boy. Okay, we'll check that out. And any favorite
Yes.
movie?
Favorite movie, War Room.
Oh, and I actually was talking to my sister-in-law yesterday in Douala, Stella B. Oben, and she said
Uh,
the same thing. I
she
talked
said
to
War Room.
Stella, yeah, Stella
Yes.
Douala, and she was like, War Room. I said, well, I don't
Yes.
know the movie. She said it's a good movie to watch. She
It is a
recommends.
good movie.
All right,
It
War
is a good
Room.
family movie.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
yeah, I can think
I
I've
like War
watched it. It's
Room. I
really
like The
good.
Lion
Have you watched it?
King.
Okay, The
I
Lion King too.
love The
Yeah.
Lion King.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So I was the only one who loves The Lion King. I hate saying it out loud. I feel like cartoons, really.
Listen, I love The Lion. I can watch it over and over and over and over.
Yeah, we took my husband and I took our little boy and I, we went to well, we all went to watch The Lion King in the movie theater. It was really fun.
Yes. The new one with the new one is just amazing. It's just
Yeah,
beautiful.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's good. So we've taken from you
Mhm.
recommendation, the movie War Room and The Lion King, and then we're trying to see if we can get a song for you by the Tabernacle Choir, the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. I just found one here which says the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir Psalm 34 live. Is Psalm 34 a song then?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, let's see. Let's see what it
Yes.
sounds like. So, as we're wrapping up the interview, we'd like to thank the amazing team of the Returnees Project working hard behind the scenes to make sure everything is running properly. I want to thank the global team located in many different countries. Thank you for all you do. I want to thank the board which coordinates all our work in all the diaspora countries, 11 of them, the African countries as well as in Cameroon. I want to remind everyone to eat healthy, very, very important, get a lot of vitamins. I want to remind you to use this time to enjoy family time, bond with your kids, bond with your husband, bond with your wife, make the most of the time
Oh,
now. I know, right?
Akira.
Akira, yes,
Hi,
yes, yes.
Akira.
So that is
Thanks,
actually
Papa.
that's how we call him Papa. That's exactly what we do. We call him Papa. So I want to thank you so much, Alice. You're a wonderful co-host. I'm really, really glad to have you here with me
Thank you,
this
Alice.
evening. Thanks, Alice.
Nice
And of
to meet you,
course,
Alice.
stay in touch. Yeah, Auntie S, thank you so, so much for
Yes,
honoring
dear.
our invitation. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I'm sorry about the technical. This that kind of threw me up. We didn't even talk about the GB Bastos students, my
Yeah,
favorite
that's right.
students of all.
Tell me. Yes, yes, yes. What are your favorite? Yes, who are your favorite students of back then and why?
I want to meet Janice. I haven't seen Alim Mustafa. Where is
Who is
he?
Alim? I don't know. Maybe Aruna would know.
Kemia Titanji. I haven't seen. I don't know
Okay.
where she is.
All right, because I actually am in touch with Aruna. Aruna might know where Alim is.
Okay.
Kemia Titanji
Yes.
is on Facebook, so she's gonna watch this video. I hope. Who else?
Okay.
Janice, you mentioned Janice should be in the USA, so I am not in touch with
Janice.
her,
Binglo
unfortunately.
Sylvia. Sylvia
Bingo,
Binglo.
Sylvia should be in the USA. I'm not in touch with her, but I need to find her. To be honest, I need to find
Oh my
Sylvia.
God.
I know. Yeah, I know. So those are the.
Uh,
Mhm.
remember Aristide Ngwenyi.
Maybe
Oh,
she, maybe
he's
she
in
was in.
Germany.
If you,
Still.
Astrid. Astrid.
Okay, he's in Germany. Who is in Germany? Alim. Okay, I'll ask Deep. That's Deep Auntie. The name Christelle Khan is Deep Christina.
Okay.
That's what she
Yeah.
uses these
It's
days.
deep. Okay. Who is in Germany?
Chris, can you please comment? You said he's in Germany. Who is in Germany? Is it Ali Mustafa or Aruna? Because Aruna, yes, I think used to be in Germany and should be in the US now. But Alice, let us know who is in Germany. Remember, we'd like to know. Okay,
Yeah.
Alice will probably come comment, or I mean, Chris will come comment to that.
All right. It's
All
all right.
right.
It's all right.
Anything
I
else?
just said we forgot that.
Yeah, Auntie, anything else you would like to add?
Huh?
Anything else you would like to add as we wrap up now?
No, that's good. That's
All
no,
right.
that's fine.
Chris says Alan is in
I know.
Germany.
He still
Ooh.
says,
Okay.
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 Chris, help us to find Alan then. Tell him, please, Madame is
Yes,
looking for
please.
him. Hmm? Tell him, please, Madame, please, Madame is looking for him. Let him not get himself whipped here when he comes late. Alan, okay. Try to get us in touch with him, Chris. Right.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry for taking you back. We
No,
were
that was
rounding up.
fine. No, that was fine. That was actually important. At the end, we also greet a lot of people and we send out messages. So it was a good time for you to bring
Yeah.
in, your pupils who are like at the heart of your work. So I can imagine that's very important for you then. So I
Okay.
found this song by the
Yeah.
Tabernacle Choir, Psalm
Not
34.
34.
thank you very much for all of you. Thank you for tuning to live.
I
Thank
sought
you,
the
Eunice.
Lord, and He
Thank
answered
you,
me.
Elizabeth. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everyone. Jill, the returnees team. Thank you for everyone watching from around the world. Meet you on Friday, 6 p.m. Cameroon time, GMT plus 1. 7 p.m. German France time, GMT plus 2. 6 p.m. London. And of course, share this video, watch this video. There's so much to learn from me. And much love is a time to be a family. You've heard about the tips you can use as a teacher, as a parent to use during this COVID. Have a planned schedule. If you have any other question or any worries, don't hesitate to type your question below and we'll know to whom to channel that in the answer. If you have anything, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an amazing person, you want to create an impact, don't forget, see you December 18th at Bukam in Douala for the fifth edition of the Returnees International. And there will be a special component for Made in Cameroon and for authors. So NTS will be inviting the secretaries also who are authors to come in with their books so that we can share with the whole world, so that we can read more because Cameroonians are so great. They are great authors, but we don't really have the time or a place to see all their work. So the returnees will be an exceptional platform for everyone to see their work. Thank you very much to all on this. See you on Friday.
Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you, everyone. See you on Friday. Auntie S,
Ciao. Love to you all.
much love, Auntie. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, you had a chance
Thank you,
of
Miranda.
talking
Thank you,
to Auntie
Alice.
Esther Shei, and that is a legacy in teaching over 35 years as a teacher. That is worth commending. Mrs. Esther Shei will definitely be back in another program. So we say Mrs. Shei is the most amazing teacher ever, an inspiration to so many, and a legacy in teaching.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miranda.
So, Alice,
Yes, Mira.
It was a pleasure being with you again today.
The pleasure is always mine. Always.
Take care in Italy. Stay safe.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful evening.
Merci. Grazie mille. Bye. See you guys.
Thank you all for tuning in. Miranda Oben, you already know. I look forward to having you on Friday with a special interview we will be bringing to you with Aisha Sase. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that together we are stronger. Keep leaving your mark in the world. Keep being a legacy. Keep touching other lives. And I will see you again tomorrow. Friday, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. in Germany. Bye for now. Stay safe.